Hi friends, today we will discuss on different budgeting solutions available in SAP. As you can see, in any organization, they have normally two types of budget requirement. One is related to capex and another is opex. So capital expenses and operating expense related budgeting requirement. And organization would also like to have workflow based budget approval, then availability control, and certain tolerances to be defined. This is a standard requirement in an organization. So let's see what are the options you have in SAP. So these are different modules in SAP available where you can do the capex and opex budgeting. So under capex mainly you can use investment management, project systems, and internal order. So these three help you in doing the capex related budgeting solutions. For OPEX, you can use cost center based budgeting and funds management. The difference between funds management and cost center is in cost center you do the planning, not the budgeting. So you are not able to have this control, or you cannot define the tolerances, or you will not be able to limit utilization of funds. So it's like a post-mortem. So once the amount has been spent, you can just monitor. However, if you use funds management, then you will be able to have the availability control there. You can control the budget with respect to a GL account and a fund center. So in this recording, I'll be talking mainly on the investment management and funds management. Investment management supports project systems and internal order both. So let's move on. Investment management solution starts with by creating an investment program. So if an organization say starts their budgeting process, so we are in say August 20. So now say some organization wants to create the budgeting for 2021. So investment management will ask the organization to start with creating an investment program. So there they will have to mention what is the total outlook for the organization for 2021, how much amount they are willing to spend in different categories of investment. So basically then you start creating investment programs, then you after the investment program is created, then you assign investment position. So investment position is the highest level of hierarchy in the investment program. So and there you define your organization element, your planned investments, then your cost center. I'll show you in system different types of fields available in investment position when you create. And you also you can create a hierarchy of this investment program and investment position. So you can define, like as I'm showing you here, you can create a different investment position, and then below that you will be able to create the appropriation request and so on. Once investment position are created, then you need to create appropriation request. In appropriation request, you basically mention your planned investment for the coming year, and you also define like whether you want to have this investment to use project systems, or you want to use it to through an internal order. And investment management allows you to automate both the options, and once you release the appropriation request, then automatically system creates a WBS element or internal order, depending on how you want to have the which option you select, whether you select project or internal order. And also this investment program is associated to one asset class, that is a AUC asset class, and When you do the settlement, automatically it settles to one asset at the time of carrying out your settlement. So what are the features of investment management? Investment management allows creation of investment program at the company level. IM program then gets distributed into different investment position. You can also configure a standard workflow for releasing of appropriation request. I'll show you in the system. Once the appropriation request is released and approved, then WBS element can be automatically created. From the WBS element at the time of release, AUC will be automatically created in the settlement rule of WBS element. One very interesting thing in investment management is budgeting. So you can do the budgeting either top down or bottom up. So you have at the highest node you decide like, okay, I am going to have total amount of investment at the say 1 million, and then you can distribute it to the bottom level, or you can bottom up. So you have identified for different position of your investment individual line item wise amount, and then you can add it up at the investment program level. Then also you will have tolerances and availability control through the project systems or internal order. These are some of the important transaction codes in investment management. So IM01 is to create investment program. Then IM11 you will be using it to create investment program position. IM22 we use for changing the investment program structure. So here you define the hierarchy of the investment program. IMA11 you use to create the appropriation request. In IMA11 you not only create the appropriation request, but also you use it for releasing it. And finally you will have IM32 and IM52 where you define the investment program budget and distribute it to WBS. IMCA-OB you use for budget carry forward. So at the end of the year, suppose some amount has been left out, so you can do the carry forward of the budget, and you also use the CJ20N for your project systems related activities. Now let's talk about funds management. Funds management mainly provided by SAP as a for public sector solutions. However, you can use it for your own OPEX budget control by doing certain activation. So funds management uses mainly three broad. It has got these three main master data: fund center, fund, and commitment item. So and then using derivation rules you can create lots of you can define as per the business requirement. Suppose certain commitment items they don't want to have any budget, or if you are using project systems and for your capex and WBS for funds management for your OPEX, then you would not like to have a project systems related transactions getting hit by funds management. So through derivation rules you can control this type of requirement. What are the features of funds management? As I said, first you need to activate this business function EAPS before you start using funds management. This is not the case with the investment management. Investment management comes by default in your ECC or S4 HANA, but for funds management you need to activate it. Funds management can be used to control your OPEX budget in a company, and it's possible to control with respect to a GL account. Fund center can be designed using your cost center hierarchy as a basis. So if you have already defined your cost center hierarchy, so same thing can be replicated for the fund center. or if you don't want, you can use any other method as well. All your GL accounts in your chart of accounts need to be created as commitment in funds management. Tolerances and availability control, you can activate it using tolerance profile. So funds management gives you this option of having the tolerance as well as availability control, like what we have in project systems. Then using the derivation rule, you can define a different tolerance profile to meet a specific business requirement. Like I was referring to, I am using a project system as well in the same client. So I don't want a funds management related solution to touch my project systems solution. So I can create a derivation rule, and then I can restrict funds management not to have it applied on the projects related transaction postings. Similarly, you can exclude balance sheet related GL accounts from your funds management control, and year-end budget and commitment can be carried forward to the next year. And these are the important T codes in funds management. FMSA is to create the fund center, FM5I create fund, FMCIA is to edit a commitment item, FIPOS is to create commitment item, FMBBC, here you enter your budget with respect to your fund center and commitment item, FMJ2 to carry forward your commitments, FMMC is to close open item. Suppose at the end of the year you don't want to carry forward certain open item, you can close it using this transaction. And then this is your report related transaction, FMABCR01, displaying of annual data of control objects. So now I'll take you to SAP. We start first I'll start the investment management related solution. So I'll run through a complete cycle, creating the investment management, then the one what I showed you earlier. So I'll create an investment program, then investment position. Also I'll create appropriation request. Then we will see how the project and WBS element getting created automatically. Then I'll make one transaction posting, and we will see the settlement to asset. So let's continue. So IM01 is to create investment program. So you can give any name. So that's not important. As per your organization element you can give, or you can give, say I am giving IDES 2, and you have to give the approval year. So right now I am just giving 2020, but you can give you are giving the approval for 2020, but the budget is for 2021. Program type you have to select from your configuration. So I have configured my IM program type. Here you can define your investment program. So I'll say investment program for IDES, and fiscal year variant. So this variant should match with your company code variant. My company code variant is V3 and my company code currency is INR. So enter that and then save it. So I have got this IDES 2 investment program created. Now let's go to creation of the top level position. So IM11. So here again you have to mention one ID. So you can say _position 1. So and then you give position 1. You can say position 1 and investments IDES. Then you have to mention your controlling area. This is my controlling area, and your company code. And now save it. Some you can also use, there are some other additional information available: investment reason, priority. So what is the reason for this investment? Is this expansion or replacement? You can select anyone. This is for your reporting purposes. So this is a new investment for my expansion project, and then you can save it. Here you see allowed measures. So measures are the objects which are going to be used once the program is created. So in my investment program, I am allowing appropriation request, WBS element, and orders. And this is another important point: budget distribution control. So I want to distribute the budget overall as well as annual. Now save it. So my investment program top level position has been created. This is very important. Now you have to create the hierarchy. For that, let's go to IM22. So now you enter here, and like cost center hierarchy or profit center hierarchy or even cost element group you create, same way you can create the hierarchy here. So click on this one, create, and give a position ID. So you can say my next level hierarchy is POS 11, and you can say this is for my building purpose. Then you create a second position, and you can say furniture and fixtures. Click check, all okay, then click copy. So it has been created. So now save it. You can again go in and see, double click on this, it will show you all these second level position and all. Allowed measure is again same. So we have created a hierarchy now for this positions. So this is my top level position, and these are my next level position. So appropriation request will be assigned to these positions. Now let's go to the appropriation request transaction. Transaction for that is IMA11. Click on create button, and you have to choose your appropriation request type. This comes from your configuration, so I have configured it. Enter your controlling area. 5701 is my controlling area, and this is very important. So appropriation request number, so this is mapped to your project system masking. So in my case I have given like XY or 0 YY and then slash numbers. So I am creating this new project. It should start with in this fashion. It can be completely mapped to your project's masking, or it can also have its own numbering sequences. But it's recommended to have it like what you have for your projects. Then you give a text, investment project, new admin building. Now go to the control data. See, it's a mandatory field. I have made it mandatory, but you can have it optional also. So you must assign the appropriation request to one investment program position. So select the investment program first, IDES 2, then select the position. I want to assign it to buildings. Now let's go to the org units. Here you enter your business area and your cost center. Then you go to the variants. Here you enter a name for the variant and go to the plan version. Assign this variant to your plan version. This is coming from configuration, the plan version. Now finally you have to associate the plan values. So how much plan values you have for this new building. So when the user gets the approval request, so they will be able to view how much investment you are planning for this new building and what are the overhead, how much revenue you are expecting. All these things you can mention here. So let's say I have a total overall 500,000 and I'll be spending it in 2020. Then overhead, you can say I have a total 50,000 additional overhead. In revenue, you can say I am going to earn 6 lakhs. So it generates a cash flow report also. There are certain other analysis in the pre-investment analysis. So you can enter interest rate of internal rate of return, what is the payback period, what's the, you can SAP calculates all these things for you. Right now I'll just focus on these plan values and then we'll see next. So once you have done all these things, then save it. One more thing, one very important part I have missed out is, see, if I save it, enter mandatory partner, otherwise you cannot save. So I have made it mandatory to enter these 3 people. So applicant, who is the person who is creating it, person responsible who will receive the information once it is approved, and then approver. So I can approver, I'll choose my user ID. So once you enter these approver and details, then it got saved now. So let's see here. See, it has been saved. So now click change. You see user status, it's not checked. So I have created 3 levels of user status. So you can assign this this authorization to 3 different people, and then each one we can have this one of the status, and until they select final check, system will not allow you to click on this for approval option. So you have to first select FINCH. So you cannot jump also. So interim checked. Now you can change it to final check. All these things can be done by different people. So now submit it for approval. So once you have clicked on this appropriation request was proposed for approval, and then save it, a workflow will be generated. So let's see. You can see the workflow from here. See, approve appropriation request, and this will go to your inbox in SAP. So now let's go to inbox. We know SWBP is the transaction, or you can click from here. Click here. See, this has come. So it shows you on the same screen of IMA 11A, but IMA 11, but you can display all the data, and once you are okay, then you can do the approval. So you can go to the variant place and see what is the plan values. All these information you can check. And again, these details will be available through Fiori app as well, because in we have my inbox Fiori app. So same thing you can view through Fiori. Now go back and click approve. So now you have approved the appropriation request. So now let's go back again, IMA 11. Click on change button. So it has been approved. Now let's go to measure or asset. So here now you once it is approved, then you can convert it into a WBS element. You can generate a WBS element. See here, system is going to generate exactly same like appropriation request project as well as WBS element, and it will be using this project profile. Click OK. So see, it says WBS element will be created when you save. Also you need to do the release. So click release and save it. So now appropriation request has been released, saved, WBS element has been created. So now let's go back and check. So in CJ20N we can check the WBS element. My WBS is 5. See, I have got this one. So I need to select this account assignment element, otherwise it will not allow me to post transactions. Then save it. And we can release it also, so that budget can be applied. Release. And also check the user status to released. Once we have done the release of project, we can see here. So release and AUC is also getting generated, because AUC is inbuilt in this solution. Now let's add budget here. So for that we use IM32. So IDES 2. So as I said, you can do top down or bottom up. So let's do the bottom up approach. So I am saying position 1 I have 5 lakhs budget. For position 2 I have say 3 lakhs budget. Or leave it, because position 2 I have not created anything for now. So I'll just work with the position 1. So now click on select all and then click top up, total up. So it will total up. So it's asking, do you want to do total values or annual values? Right now I have not allocated it to annually, so I'll just select total values. So see, now it has come to the total at the highest node level as well. Now let's go to the annual value. So I'll do the same thing here. I want to allocate all this budget to my year 2020 and do the total up. Now this time to annual values. So it's done. And click on save button. Document will be created. So see, one document has been posted, budget related one. Now this budget need to be distributed to WBS element. So IM52 budget distribution. So you select original budget, because this is the original budget. Click execute. We can see here now for position this one I have got one WBS element available. So I can allocate all the amount to this WBS unless I have a more than one position, or then the situation will be different. Similarly for the year I'll assign the same amount, 5 lakhs, and now save it. See, one document has been posted for the budget distribution. So now I have got budget available in my project systems and my WBS element. So let's see CJ20N. See, budget has come up in this screen. So now let's go back. We also need to activate the budget control. So availability check has not yet been activated. So we can use CJBN. So let's activate it. So availability control has been activated for this project. So if I go back to CJ20N, see, now I have got the availability control also coming in the as a system status. One important point now left is releasing the budget for the project. So we use CJ32, the standard transaction for releasing the budget for the project, because budget has come to the project but it needs to be released also. So we can enter 5 lakhs for overall as well as 5 lakhs for the year and then save it. So now the budget is released on the project as well. You see the document posted. Now we can do the transactions posting. So let's use one transaction B01 post 1 3. I have configured this GL account in the allocation structure for the budgets for the project for settlement purpose. Let's use 3,50,000 and enter payment. See, I have got this error message. It says no fund center entered or derived in this. So I need to create a, I need to assign this WBS element. Remember, I had mentioned my funds management, because funds management is also active. So I use this FM derive. Then I go here. Now I copy. What I have done here, I have created a derivation strategy saying if my WBS element is this one, then assign a dummy fund center with this fund. So then funds management rule should not touch. This is the one level, and then I have a in the back end I have a tolerance profile defined for this fund center and assigned also. Now let's go back again. I think I have to do it posting again. B01. See, now that error has gone. So you could see that funds management related solution also for the excluding your project systems from funds management. Similarly, this is my balance sheet account. So I am not having funds management activated. So this is also excluded for funds management control is excluded for my this balance sheet account as well. Now let's post it. So I have posted the transaction. Now let's see. Let's see the report. This is our investment program. You see, you have so much drill down options available. So from the investment program, you went to the top level position, then you went to the first position like building, then the appropriation request, WBS project, then WBS element, what was the budget approved, what was the plan, all these things are available. You can also see the actual amount here. See, assigned, this is the actual amount. Now we can do the settlement. Let's use CJ88 period. Okay, so it's going to create this new asset automatically and will post to this GL account. So let me remove the test run and we will see the accounting document also. As you can see here, we have got accounting document, asset related transaction, as well as funds management document. Because funds management is activated, so system will always create an accounting document for that. So let's see the accounting document. So here you see I have got this asset 25003 created, and this is my AUC asset. So we can see this asset in Asset Explorer. So this is the end of my demo for the investment management, sorry, not support, investment management, and how it works. So see here you have a 3,50,000 posted values, and there will not be any depreciation because it's an AUC asset. See, depreciation key is 0000, and we can see the asset master also. See here, this is my investment measure asset class. This is configured, and it used the cost center which I defined when I was creating the investment program and position. So next I'll be sharing with you funds management related solutions. So just hold. So now let's understand the funds management related solution. I'll run through one funds center creation transaction, then I'll assign the budget on the funds center, then in combination to commitment item. I'll also show you how the commitment item is created with respect to a GL account, and then we will post a transaction and see whether system allows me to create the posting or not. So let's first create the funds center. As I had mentioned earlier, you can create a fund center with reference to your cost center. So let me show you my cost center hierarchy. So yeah, so this is my cost center hierarchy. So I have these three cost centers available. So 701, 18601, 7010, 2001, and 701, 11601. I have already created fund centers for these two cost centers. So I'll create a fund center with reference to this cost center. So let's go to FMSA transaction. FMSA. So enter the fund center number. So I have used the naming convention as 570 with the cost center last 5-digit number. So and then enter the fund center name. So I give the same name, marketing. like what I have in cost center. It's very easy then to identify. You enter your cost company code here, and also you can assign it to a business area. Now you associate it to a user also. Here in this section you can assign this fund center to a hierarchy as well. But in my case I am not currently using hierarchy, so I'll just save it. My fund center has been saved. Now let me show you. See, these are the GL accounts I want to use for the budget creation for with reference to cost fund center. So let me first show you the commitment items, whether all commitment items are created for these GL accounts or not. So let's go to FIPOS transaction. So I enter this GL, start and end number, click on execute. See, these GL accounts have already been converted into commitment. So you can see commitment values are coming here, and these are very important information: financial transaction and item category. So depending on the nature of GL account, system by default assign it a financial transaction. So if it's a bank related GL account, then it will assign it to 90. If it's an open item managed, then it will be receivable, payable, or 60 or 70 or even 80 depending on the type of GL account. If it's an expense, then 30. GRIR 40 likewise. And then you have item category. So you will have 3 item categories. So for balance sheet always you will have to choose 1, for expenditure 3, and revenue 2. So I already have all these configured. Let me just show you in one GL account how the commitment item field gets mapped. Commitment item field is available in your create bank interest tab in the GL master data. See here. Now let's go to create the budget. So now we will create the budget with reference to a fund center and commitment item. Transaction for this is FMBBC. Let's go. Yeah, I'm already in this screen. So okay, so these are the important fields. Let me come back. BBC. Okay, so budget category will always be payment budget. Document type, so these are different document types I have configured. So initially we will use the budget entry document. Fiscal year is 20, then version 0, budget type. So select the budget type. I have only one budget type for this purpose. It's linked with your document type. Then select the fund. Fund is used to for the reporting purpose. So if you have a different locations and within the location you have say cost different cost center, so you can create a fund for to represent one location or for any other reporting purpose as well. So it becomes more flexible. Okay, now let's come down. So here we will assign the fund center and commitment item with the budget. So this is my budget. This. Okay, and we can give one text as well, appropriate text. So budget for 2020. Okay. Now click save. So as you can see, I have got this fund center, commitment item, and then this is the budget 20,000. So now let's save. So document has been successfully created in funds management area 5701 and year is 2020. Now let's do that some transaction posting and see whether it's working correctly or not. Let's close. I'll go to 2001. Let's use the GL account 301101. New cost center. No fund center derived or entered. Okay, I missed. I created this new cost center and new fund center, but I have not mapped them. So I'll have to use that FM derived transaction to map the cost center with the fund center. So let me do that. One second. Cost center to fund center. Let me copy. This is my cost center 18601 and my fund center is 18601. Now it should work. Okay, so let me go back. I'll have to do it again, I think. Let me start again. NP01. So now it should allow me to post the transaction. So let's put 20,000. See, now that error message has gone. Let me put balance account star. So now I can save it. Okay, it says annual budget of FMPB availability control exhausted for document item, this one. So let's see what is the budget I have here. What budget I had for the line item? 20,000. So I have utilized completely. So as per my tolerance profile, it's giving me one warning message that your budget has been exhausted. Although it's allowing me because up to 100% I can use this budget. So it says it's exhausted. Okay, completely exhausted. So if it's less than that, let me enter 19,000. Now let's simulate. Oops. 19,000. Let's simulate. See, now it's giving almost exhausted, not completely exhausted. So I have 1,000 left. So because my total budget is 20,000 and I'm posting 19,000, so it says balance 1,000 is left out. Annual budget almost exhausted. So now if I make it 21,000, say, or 20,100 example. So 20,100. So now it should throw error message. See, annual budget exceeded by 100 INR. So it will not allow me to post this transaction. So I have to reduce it by 100, please. So let me do again. 20,000, and this time I post. Okay, I accept the warning. See, document has been posted. Let's see the document. See, it has been posted. So friends, that's it. So I have shown you how the investment management and funds management works in SAP. Hope you like this video. Thanks for watching my channel, and